Welcome to the Dr. Leadership Show, where we take a look at how you approach your work and personal life and how we can make the most out of both of them. A weekly get-together where we get real about self-improvement and development as we all make this not-so-easy journey through life. Our discussions will cover ideas and concepts from how to grow your career to how to lead your family towards prosperity and happiness. We don't pretend to know it all, and the doctor is the first to be vulnerable, discussing his own weaknesses, both past and present. This is about growing together and having some fun while we discuss what is happening in the crazy world we live in and how to make the most of it. Let's strive for awesome together. Let's get after it. Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. Leadership Podcast. Hope you're having a great day. Hey, I'm flying solo today the last several weeks. The last couple months, actually, I've had some just outstanding guests on. And this week, I'm kind of in between recording sessions with a bunch of people, got some lined up, but just wanted to put a little bit of my own content out this week. Hope you're having a great week. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm a golf fan. This Scotty Scheffler, he's going to be something. World dominance going on over there, and it's so fun to watch the GOATs of any type of sport, any type of engagement. And he's got this thing locked up. I'd be surprised if he didn't win next week, too. I don't know if anybody can catch him on points even. It'd probably be just the next couple in line to see if they could chase him. But great stuff going on. We got football ready to start. I don't know about you all, but I'm excited for college sports to start back up. College football, not college sports. And I'll probably be a disappointed Hawkeye fan like I have been for 57 years. Like being a Cubby fan. But good news is one of my daughters, her boyfriend surprised her and is bringing her up. We're going to the Iowa State game, so that's going to be fun to watch. Unfortunately, it's up at Iowa State, not at a cool stadium, but it's there for the Cyclones. But it should be a good time. So I said a couple great guests. Had Dave Cotter on from Integrity Capital, talking about some alternative investment opportunities out there and some things around leadership. And then had Ken Rusk. You know, Ken... the Blue Collar Cash, wrote that book, very world-renowned, has been on Tucker Carlson, been on Fox News several times, does some interactions with Mike Rowe, the Dirty Jobs guy, really talking about blue-collar work and how you can make a lot of money doing that. It was an interesting conversation because it was always, you got to go to college, you got to get a $200,000 degree, you got to go out and do all these things to be successful. And from my personal experience growing up in my dad was an owner of a company, but a blue-collar company, you don't have to have that degree. Not saying don't get the degree, but I'm saying you can get into these trades and things, and that's what Ken really focused on, has become a multi-millionaire by concentrating in this business environment. So give that a listen. It's a great one. Got some other great guests coming up. Won't give any false leads on that as I finalize the scheduling, but some more good stuff coming up. Today on the Dr. Leadership episode, don't even know what number this is. I'll have to figure that out before I post it. I want to talk about fortune favors the brave. It's an old statement, but in today's environment, I think it's a crucial statement. So let's face it, there is a tremendous amount of uncertainty in business today. There's economic uncertainty. I feel that's going in the right direction. I mean, the markets say it's going in the right direction. If you don't have TDS, I suppose that you agree everyone's 401k is in better shape than it's ever been. We got a permanent tax change reduction in play. Everyone benefits from that. SALT, state and local taxes, the write-offs increased 4x on that. So, I mean, if you've got a mortgage, you live anywhere where you've got a $2,500 a month house payment, $2,000 of that's probably going to interest. 12 months, you got $24,000 of interest right off there. You just gained $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 back in your tax returns. That seems pretty stable to me and on the right track. Political uncertainty, all sorts of things going on. Wars are stopping. Wars aren't quite over. So just lots of uncertainty, technology uncertainty. And what this is doing is it's causing leaders and us as individuals to have to make some decisions. I even call them big decisions. And what I mean by this and what I want to focus to is the word bravery or courage. Bravery has never been more important in life than I think kind of right now. Now, we required a lot of bravery for all these 18 and 19 and 17 and 15 and 22-year-old men and women to go off and storm the beaches of Normandy and recapture the Southern Pacific to win the war to stop the greatest evils that have been known to man. But this is everyday life bravery. What resonated with me was I got a new Harvard Business Review magazine here a couple days ago, and there's a great article in there by Ranjay Gulati. He's a professor at Harvard, and he discusses how fortune favors the brave. It's an old concept. It's an old statement. It's something you've heard before. Maybe you haven't heard. If you haven't heard it, I'm sorry, but to the winner goes the spoils. Fortune favors the brave. Basically, you got to jump into the deep end at some point in your life as an individual or as a leader. So, strong leaders, I repeat, strong leaders will rise during this time, and weak leaders, I'm afraid to say it out loud, but you're going to get your lunch eaten. You're not going to survive. And maybe your companies won't if they don't wake up to the fact that they need to embrace some sort of bravery. I'm not talking about being stupid like jumping out of an airplane without a chute, but I am talking about you got to engage. You can't sit back and be passive any longer. There's people that go for the win, and there's people that try to not lose. And it's more important and more valuable in life to be those that try to win, I think. You need to be conservative. I don't want to be controversial or come across as a person that's trying to play both sides of the coin here, because I talk about conservative and financial decisions. I'm talking about capturing business opportunities here. So I was many of you know, and if you don't, I was in the technology business for 36 plus years, and there were constant changes. And I say the technology business, big printing company, right? Lots and lots of printing, lots of data management, lots of communication, everything that you see around in your life that has words and messaging on it, which is everywhere. The tags on your sheets, the posters on the wall, the ads on the windows of your local establishment, all the documents you get, your statements, all that's done through the technology that I used to try to sell and try to lead with. And there has been lots of changes there. The integration of email and the internet, and that was going to kill that industry. All it did was kind of drive it up and further up, because instead of reading an email, you print it, read it, throw it away. Next time you want to go through the email, you print it, read it, throw it away. So every email got printed 7 times. It actually exacerbated some of the quote-unquote problem of printing too much, but we were really thankful in my business. So there are 2 types of leaders when you're going through what we're going through right now, this change and this uncertainty. It really aligns with the traditional kind of fight or flight response, and maybe that's some of it. I don't know the genetic input of this, or the how your mind kind of works, those that have the fight reflex versus the flight reflex. But those that engage in the fight and take chances will drive results and capture share, right? Those that exercise a more flight, air quotes, methodology won't, and see or freeze in, under pressure. They could die. You got to be willing to take a little bit of a chance here. And I really struggled with this the last few years of my career. I'll touch on it a little bit. But great people around me. But man, there were some people that just, I'll get to it here in a minute. So, I'll just do it now. In my own experiences, and especially in my post-COVID leading, it was very sad to watch as some leaders tried to cut their way to success. And I've talked about this before. Trying to offset headwinds with attacking your SG&A, sales, general, administrative expenses, savings. And it's important to run as lean there as possible. They wanted to, some leaders want to cut jobs. We got to make this number. The economic situation is not as good. Let's cut our expenses, versus my preferential way. If the SG&A expenses are in line and should be in line, be aggressive and attacking the competition to gain share. I don't ever want to be a person that has this shrinking or meek mindset. Now, this has to be objectively done, and you have to make sure that you aren't, throwing a grenade into something that's already sinking. But there are people that sit back and go, let's be passive and see if this goes away, versus other people are going to be passive. Let's take advantage of their passivity and get some share. That's more my game. The author in this article, he defined courage as a willingness to take bold or risky actions to serve a purpose that you perceive to be worthy, usually in the face of an abiding fear. Okay? The best way to overcome in work and business settings is through risk management. And that's, let me reset. The best way to overcome this anxiety that many are having in work and business settings is through risk management. So Professor Kathleen R. Reardon, very smart lady, throws the R in, wrote, "Courageous action is really an intelligent gamble. Intelligent gamble, based on deliberation and preparation. Today, we have leaders more worried about their next paycheck and short-term incentives and goals versus a true leader who takes risks and attacks the long-term market, plays the long game, right? These leaders, you can hand them a great idea that carries some cost, and they say, well, the SG&A can't support it. Or we have to cut something else to spend money on that. Maybe. Or they're in a holding pattern due to uncertainty. That's more of a cowardice type approach. I'm not saying be intellectually abandoned. Don't abandon the intellect of making sure it's probably a good move to make, but don't sit back and go, well, we'll wait and see. Procrastination in leadership is a killer. Don't do the holding pattern. Cowards, grow a set and make a move. Is what I'm saying. It's time to attack the market versus not. It's why the World War I sat there and they faced each other in the trenches forever. Nobody made a big move. They just went into this stalemate type thing. And I don't understand not being aggressive in business when there's an opportunity to be aggressive. So he put these different strategies together. The author puts it in multiple step strategy approach. The first one he talks about is create a positive narrative. He says, go risk hunting. Find a moral quest and call upon your faith to drive through the adversity. Now, faith has been important in a lot of good business decisions. People that follow faith and grow. Take Chick-fil-A as an example. Follow their faith. Aren't open on Sunday. Number one fast food retailer in the world for several years on at this point. They also have the best food. I don't know if it's healthier in total, but their chicken is delicious. Their French fries are delicious. Their sweet tea, too sweet. I drink unsweet tea, even though I lived in the South. Can't stand that syrup. The second strategy he talks about is cultivate confidence. So confidence comes from self-efficacy. Courageous people should have deep confidence in their everyday work. What I mean by that, we've talked about this before. Marketing is not responsible for your development. Only you are responsible for your development. Utilize what marketing brings to the table, but then go above and beyond. If you want to be the best at something, you got to be the best at something. If you're a leader, you got to train your teams and yourself around best practices and your products relentlessly. This is every single day. We struggled through this a few years ago. We hadn't trained our salespeople appropriately, and there'd been lots of change in a decade. Well, we can't afford to spend $350,000. I went out and got the vendors to pay for it, the majority of it. We incorporated into our sales teams. All of a sudden, motivation goes up, attitude goes up, confidence goes up, win percentage goes up, revenue growth. Following that training the next 2 years, we doubled the revenue in a couple of departments. Software and services, digital components, and our continuous feed and inkjet business took over number one market share in the world. And you look back and go, let's spend some more money, let's do it again. They go, ooh, it's kind of trying times right now. A lot of businesses do that. You got to be a little more aggressive, man. If you want to win the game, you got to win the game. You got to be prepared so when opportunities show themselves, you can react and take advantage. This is the time in life when you play offense, not defense, like I just said. Don't be stupid, but don't be cowardice. Engage the situation. I was on so many senior leadership meetings and involved in them where members were totally focused on how to save money, expenses, which again is important. But man, there's a numerator and a denominator in operating income. That's the percent of overall money that you put to the bottom compared to your revenue. So if you do $100 in revenue and you put $2 in the company's pocket at the bottom, that's a 2% operating income. That's not very good. You want to be 5, 6, 7%. One of the divisions I had responsibility for, we ran at 19% last year. And that was floating everybody else up. And that's okay because the other side of the business was struggling. That's what teams do. But you have to, instead of always looking at what can we cut, what can we grow? Work on the numerator in that equation. Instead of $100 in revenue and trying to save dollars to take it to 3, why don't you drive the $100 to $120, still exercising only 2% OI? Now you got $2.4 in your pocket, $2.40 in your pocket. In other words, there's tops and bottoms. It's a small mathematical situation or example, not a situation. But get my drift here. Catch my drift. Attack the revenue growth side of this equation versus trying to cut the bottom so much. It just drives me crazy that no one wants to go for the win. In the business world, you need to go for it on 4th and 1 and not always do the damn punt. Not always go, how about a fake punt? How about the industry thinks you aren't going to do something, all of a sudden you launch a big new engagement? That's powerful. You got to trust in your people and you got to trust in your processes. You have to have spent money on the training like we just discussed about, and then release those lions to the market. I'm going to talk about lions a little bit more. In attacking, the author's third strategy, take small steps, come into play. It is key to evaluate your situation objectively. I said that earlier, right? Don't get into this emotional side of it. But look, because where there is concern and disarray, there's opportunity. Look at Warren Buffett. He just went in all in last week. United Healthcare, after the CEO got shot, came out, maybe some Medicare fraud things going on, all sorts of stock has just been pummeled. Guess what he did? Just threw, $100 billion at it or something like that. Because that's when the brave make the big move, is when everyone else is scared to. Warren Buffett has made more money engaging on the downside of the market than on the upside of the market. He understands that with all the knowledge he has, because that's the training piece of it, he understands the industry. He looks for opportunities. Hey, that's a good company that has been hit, unfortunately, by some bad news, but it's still a sound company. If you think your team is a sound team and you can win and you can deliver on what you're trying to take to market, then go attack the damn market. These people that sit back, ugh. But you got to do it in small steps, as the author said, back to the third strategy. It is key to evaluate your situation objectively. It is, where is the opportunity versus where can we save a few bucks? There is no all-star in any sport ever that plays half-ass. They all attack the goal, the bucket, the end zone. They don't sit back and go, we'll just play this back and forth and maybe we'll score and win by 1. No, man. Act like an all-star. Attack the goal. Attack the end zone. Don't be a damn bench sitter. You know what I mean? Just no one that's ever been the tops of something was cowardice. Again, don't go out and be reckless. Don't double down at the roulette table, think I'm going to win it all back. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is look at the market you're in when other people are in disarray and there's concern. I'll give you another example. Right now, my builder that built my home and is building this subdivision, guy's worth mega bucks. But had lunch with him a couple weeks ago. I said, how's the market, man? You were building houses crazy. He's got 3 on my block. He's got, in the neighborhood, he's got like 25 houses going up right now. And everybody's like, well, the housing market, the news says it's no good. That's what I said to him. Well, the news says it's no good. He goes, exactly. What's going to happen as soon as it is good? Prices are going to go up. And the costs are going to go up. And then that's going to be the offset of the good news on the reduced interest rates that are going to happen over the coming months. Should have happened sooner. But over the next year, interest rates, there's going to be a point and a half, 150 basis points going to come out of the set rate. And that's going to spur buyers to go out because they look at the interest rate. Well, what happens is all the people that sell the goods to build the houses know that activity's going up, supply and demand. They start raising the prices. So what my builder's doing, out of his words to my ears, his mouth to my ears, I'm going to get 20 houses up, have a lower cost position, still elevate the prices when the interest rates go down, and I'm going to ton it. Bravery. Courage. Now, he's got to spend the money. He's got to believe in it, but he's been doing it for 40 years, so he gets it. That's a good show of bravery. Go after the damn ball. I used to use a mantra. I said earlier, lions were going to come back up. My go-to sign, I did trophies on it. I did awards on it. I sent out emails to the whole team, and it was always be a lion. In my last 10 years, I really focused on that. This was all about attitude and self-belief. See, lions don't wait for their meals to be delivered by Uber. Uber Eats. DoorDash. See, that doesn't happen in the jungle. And that's what life is. You're in the jungle. It was all about having an attitude and self-belief in yourself. Lions don't wait for their meals to come to them. They go what? They go hunting. They look for the opportunity. Be a damn lion in life. Don't be reckless. Don't jump into a herd of jackals and try to take one of them down. They could take you down because there's a team of them. But that lowly, sick little elk over there, that's dinner. And that lowly, sick little elf is a great statement to make about the market right now. There's a lot of limping organizations, especially in the industry I was just in. My former employees should be going all in and attacking because only a few are going to survive. You're going to take the crud off the bottom. There's going to be 2 or 3 less people providing in that market. The fall of Xerox is going on. Kodak. I mean, they just came out last week. They don't think they can keep running. They didn't attack the market. They sat back and tried to play defense. Look what happened to them. Any Kodak film little markets in any parking lots anymore where you drop off your film to be developed? Nope. And the thing is they helped develop digital photography. Big miss. They played defense. They were cowardice. They didn't attack the new market. See, again, don't be reckless, but engage and attack what you want. If you miss, it's okay. The sun comes up tomorrow and another opportunity will come around, another business opportunity will come around. It's not for the meek, and your people will respect strength much more than kind of a passive attitude. If they know you believe in them to go over the hill, they're going to go over the damn hill. The last of the strategies I want to cover, there were a couple other. It's a great article in HBR, Harvard Business Review. It's what I call my good friends, HBR. The last of the strategies is called stay calm. This is another big one. I love this. I used to always say, never let them see you sweat. It's not my original statement. I just used to say it. See, fellowship as a leader or as a family person leading your family, it comes to leaders who are brave and they go over the hill with their teams. Strong people survive these disarray times. Strong people will survive the uncertainty. Remember this, strong leaders make great times. Great times make weak leaders, and weak leaders make bad times. Don't make a bad time. Don't take a strenuous time and make it worse by trying to wait it out. You need to make moves. It's either going to make it or not make it. If you don't make it, you weren't going to make it anyway sitting back. Somebody in the market's going to take control. Take control. In your personal life, get your self-worth as high as possible. Read, understand, engage things that you aren't real clear on yet. Constantly be improving yourself and then make the moves. See, your company and your capabilities, you got to go after it. You got to, and go after the market. See, you drive team perspiration through your inspiration. You got to get everyone to believe that you can win. And you don't do it by, hey, I know we're cutting some more jobs. And if you're in a position where cuts are required. But once you've cut 5, 6, 7 years in a row to make the number, you're out of cuts. Sooner or later, bravery's going to have to show up. You can let the enemy lines get right to your foxhole and then not have a very good chance of win, or you can go over the hill and take the fight to the competition. And see, I'm from the mindset that you attack. It's how we won the wars. It's how we'll win the future wars. And if you take this mindset and you get aggressive in your personal life and your business life through constant training and self-development, knowing you've got the goods, you got the right team members and everything, go out and attack it. And what comes out of that is this time frame of comfort and growth. And you know what that is? That's awesome. Then you just keep that mindset up. Talk next week.